Okay, so 4 ways to build your self-belief as a leader. I think if you remember, we talked a while ago about credibility in leadership, and there'd be a credibility scale from 0 to 100. And is it possible for a young leader to enter a profession and work their way up the leadership ladder to become perhaps the number one in the company? And obviously, I believe it's true, and I know there are many other examples of people who have achieved it. And the picture here is Eddie Howe, who's the manager of Bournemouth Football Club, who's done a brilliant job as a young manager, young leader, taking his team into the Premiership and staying there, which is an incredible achievement. And I'm sure his credibility has grown, but it's not grown by accident. You know, he's got great self-belief, because if he didn't have, he wouldn't get through the forces acting against him in such a competitive leadership landscape. So let's go through the 4 points, and hopefully I can elaborate a little bit further. Before we do, just going to read through a couple of quotes. Great leaders possess great self-belief. Put simply, self-belief is how much belief you feel you have in your ability to exercise control over your own behaviour and other events in your life. So rather than you being dictated to by events in your life, if you've got great self-belief, you believe you've got control. And certainly in my experience, you need to have great self-belief to coach at international level. And now I'm not coaching at international level. I've got to have that belief also that I can control what happens next to me, and I can go and be successful and coach at the highest level again. If you have great self-belief, which grows over time, you can see difficult tasks as challenges to be mastered rather than threats that need to be avoided. And I think it's very difficult as a young leader when you are faced with challenges and seen as a threat to your leadership capability. But I think the stronger you grow, the more experience you grow, and the better you become as a leader, they become challenges rather than threats. So how do we build this self-belief inside ourselves? So the 4 ways are on this slide. Mastery. Value what you do. Each success you experience builds a robust belief in yourself. They accumulate to convince you that you have what it takes. So mastery doesn't happen by accident. Obviously, studying leadership, studying your chosen leadership area, making sure you're an expert in that area, making sure that you've done everything you can to be the best you can be, will give you mastery over your leadership challenge. And that mastery, that comes from investing time in yourself. And it's a bit like the book Bounce, isn't it, which talks about experts in sport or in the arts. I've spent 10,000 hours becoming great, and the same is true in leadership. You know, if you study the subject, that's what you should aim to achieve. Modelling is the second way. So that's by seeing people similar to yourself succeed by sustained effort, increasing your belief that you can master similar skills and challenges. So, I like to think there are young coaches out there who saw my progression in the same way that I see people like Eddie Howe or Gareth Southgate now, or whoever it is, be successful also. And you can model your way by seeing those people, but also by trying to meet them. And I would always proactively go out and drop emails and go and meet people who I felt could help me become a better leader. And it's often that you get a very positive reply if you go down that route. A lot of people want to share and want other leaders to get better, and be proactive. Mentoring is obviously critical. So I can't think there would be many leaders out there who don't have any mentors. At least someone who can be a trusted advisor, who you can listen to and talk to, who you can share ideas with, and perhaps someone who's been through the ups and downs of leadership life would be the best mentor. The more you're persuaded by trusted advisors that you have the capabilities to master the challenge of leadership, the more likely you are to mobilise your efforts to succeed. So the mentors convince you that you've got the toolkit to be successful as a leader. And obviously, you've seen other people do it in the modelling, and you've mastered the leadership area yourself. And the final is mood. It comes from feedback you receive from your emotional and physical experience. You can control your mood to be positive. So you have a pint glass half full, you're an optimist, and your mood is positive. You are a can-do person who's got to go out there and make a difference. And you can see that when you have that mindset, that people resonate with you, and they can you can see the energy light up in their eyes when you're speaking with them, and that your leadership is being successful. So within that, you've also the 4 principles apply to your teams. So if you want to build great teams as well as be a great leader, mastery. So obviously make sure they're experts in their craft. Modeling, make sure you describe examples of people who've achieved it, or teams who've achieved it who are similar to your own. Mentoring, make sure your leadership team and the people who are in your organization get positive support. And mood, obviously controlling the emotional and physical mood of your team will have a huge impact on their belief that they're going to become successful. So I hope that makes sense, and good luck with it. Start with yourself, lead yourself first, and then you become a better leader and lead another second.